Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside, and we're going to give you an update on day 2 here at the construction for our new production greenhouses. If you missed the first video, check that out. I will have it linked for you. So what we are doing here, we are growing again. Creekside Nursery is a grower retailer. What does that mean? It means that we grow our plants that we sell retail to our customers. You people are amazing and you come from all over to come visit us, and so we have got to ramp up our production so that we can grow more plants, not only to sell directly to our customers here at the retail center in Dallas, but also to ship, because a lot of people were saying, hey, are these houses for your shipping facilities and growing those plants for shipping? They are. So this fall we will begin shipping shrubs, and then next spring, so spring of 2024, we will be offering annuals, perennials, and shrubs all online. More details for that will be coming available, and we'll start pre-selling our shrubs hopefully relatively within the next soon. We're going to say soon. I don't want to put a timeline on that. So that's what we're doing. Lovely red clay pad here for you sweet folks. It was so funny to see your comments on the last video. Y'all were like, oh my gosh, you really do have red clay. Yeah, we do. This is our native soil, beautiful red clay. No, we don't live on Mars, as one person was joking, but this is our soil. The greenhouses, they are going to be 3 gutter connected houses. I'll put a picture up for you so you can kind of get an idea of what that means. So we're just going to kind of give you an overview of what happened in day 2 since we last left you. So at the end of the day of day 1, all of our amazing people had got all the shrubs off of this lot. So remember, this was a shrub lot, and we had all of those shrubs, not those shrubs, but we had a ton of shrubs and perennials on this lot. Our folks took them off, incorporated them either into the retail garden center, took them down there to be sold, or they merged them with the other pad. So at the end of the day, we were left with a blank slate here, and Jerry came back the next day, and first what he had to do was to remove all of the irrigation, because we have irrigation in here. The main line runs this way, and then we had lines going down. It was all the overhead. Those were those PVC, well, they weren't even PVC, those pipes that were sticking up. Those were the overhead sprinklers. He removed those. We're going to save those, obviously. They work perfectly fine. He took them off to another area just to hang out, and then he used the Bobcat to remove all of the landscape fabric. So we use that landscape fabric. Obviously, we're a grower, and it's, you know, it makes the most sense to have that fabric down because weeds, soil, dirt, all that stuff. So he got all of that removed, and then we were left with the blank slate. You know, you just got to adapt and overcome around here, because nothing goes perfectly as planned, because perfect is not real. So Jason, our friend who owns this company that does all the grading and is an absolute genius on how he can see things, and then Frank, the operator who has been working on this. So it was Jason, Frank, and Jerry had a meeting of the minds for I think like an hour, trying to figure out exactly what the deal was, because once everything was removed, we saw really the slope of the land. So we had talked about when we were here the other day about how this pad sloped down and it sloped towards the mums. And when you're building a 90 by 96 greenhouse, you kind of need the area to be flat. That's kind of important when you're building a building. So they were looking, and where the track loader is, in that corner where we first started out, that was our high point. So that's the highest point of the land. And then this corner right here where that massive pile of dirt is, that is the lowest. We had a huge difference between the grade, and I came out here and Jason said, so the deal is, to get it perfectly level, we would have to go above, I mean, like it was like, I don't know, 6 feet. It was something insane that this back corner has to come up to get level with the other corner. Obviously that is not the best thing, because I mean, all this soil would have to come up here and you have to build it way up, and we would have like a floating greenhouse above. So what they did is they're going to split the difference. So they are digging out, so you can see from this perspective how Frank was digging out, almost like creating like a basement, digging a basement here. So they're going to dig down so many feet this way, and then they only have to bring it up so many feet over here. So that is what Frank really spent the vast majority of the time here on day 2, was simply moving soil around in this area. He has not pulled any soil from anywhere else. All of this that has been moved was simply existing soil that was here. I don't know if y'all enjoy that, but sitting there watching big machines move soil is highly entertaining for us. We just think it's just fantastic. So we spent a lot of the day out here sitting in the shade, kind of watching and filming and just having the absolute most fun watching him work his magic, because Frank too is a genius. He knows that if I have to go here, he has just a couple of marks and he could see what he needed to do in his mind and then just made it happen. Jackson, you know, our 13-year-old, who absolutely loves machines, has always loved machines. He got the opportunity to drive the compactor roller. That's what Jerry's behind me telling me. The roller compactor. So the idea of that is to, as Frank was moving the soil, Jackson was riding around, compacting that soil and on that roller and just really compacting it. Because again, when you're building, you need a strong foundation. Going back to the idea of you sweet folks kind of like freaking out because of all this red clay. One of our sweet friends, Brian, and Brian he's a genius too, but he is with Panoramic Farms. And so we're customers of theirs, friends of theirs. We went out and visited their place early in the spring, and so they have been expanding too, and they have been putting in greenhouses this spring, summer on a much larger scale. So Brian texted us last night and he was like, "Oh, that red clay. I would love to have that red clay," because red clay is fantastic as a foundation because you can compact it and it just is such a firm foundation. If you have sand or you have really loamy soil that is high in organic matter, this does not work for a foundation because it's not strong enough. You can't compact it enough. So we have all of this beautiful, and yes, that is correct, beautiful topsoil that cannot be used for the pad because it just cannot compact enough. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this and we are going to take it down to the signature garden, and we are going to use that to build up and build what we want, the beds, the areas at the foundation, at the signature garden. So this is not going to go to waste. So what they will do is they actually have a rock truck, for a better term, right there. So the big old truck behind the burn pile back there, they will load that up, take it down to the nursery, and therefore we can use it there. So another thing with the greenhouses, because of the dilemma with how the grade is, originally we were thinking that the front of the greenhouses would face the opening of our current production greenhouses, right? And then this would be the sides. Makes more sense. What we're going to have to do is flip it. So this will be the front of the greenhouses, and then the sides will run down. Now, obviously, if you know anything about building and construction, you'll look at that corner and you're like, you can't leave that like that. You cannot leave a 3-foot wall of red clay soil there. Yes, you are correct. So we're going to have to build a retaining wall, basically an L-shaped retaining wall that will hold back the gravel and the backside. So we will have, where that track loader is, there'll be a retaining wall coming down this way, and then there will be a retaining wall going this way that, going with the grade, will then blend in and kind of taper down. So a lot of things are happening around here. Always interesting. You kind of have to just kind of stop, talk, think, process. Is this going to work? It's going to work, and just go for it. Because even Jason, who is, my gosh, this is what he does for a living, has done it for years and years and years. Until we got all of those shrubs off, it was really hard to see how the grade of the land goes. So that is what is happening here. Now what they're going to do, because we got a huge amount of rain yesterday morning. So nothing, this is actually technically day 3 of the project, but yesterday morning we got, I mean, a huge storm came through and dumped loads and loads of rain. You may have seen the water kind of standing in that back corner. So yesterday they did nothing, it just sat. Hopefully today we'll be able to get back in here and get some work done as the day goes on, if things kind of dry up a little bit. But we do have an quote issue because, right, again, nothing is flat here at Creekside. And because behind the track loader where you see those beautiful oak trees back there, that is, of course, the highest spot. And we have water that just naturally like comes out of the woods. So the path of least resistance is, of course, is coming straight to that track loader. Well, we can't have that. We've got to get it going down along the tree line, because this tree line back here is where the creek is. So if you can see those trees off there in the distance, the creek runs through that. So what they're going to do is remove soil that they can then build up the pad with, while creating a nice swell so that that water will flow down and into the creek. So absolutely cannot have water coming into the greenhouse. Create a nice gentle swell, path of least resistance, and so all that water can shoot down towards the creek. So I think that's it as far as the update. Jerry, yes? I think so. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head down to the nursery and give you a quick little nursery tour and show you some great things that are happening down there. Show you all those beautiful plants that we moved from here to there because they are ready for sale, and so come pick them up. All right, let's head down to the nursery. All right, so here we are down at the retail portion of the nursery, and yeah, great things for you. So what we're going to do is just kind of walk through, show you some of the shrubs that they brought down, that they're available for sale now, and they are good to go. Like, you can go ahead and get these babies in the ground right now, because we've talked about that there are certain plants that, you know, grow best maybe in cooler temperatures. Certain plants do better when you plant them when it's warmer temperatures. One of those plants that does really well in the warm temperatures are gardenias. And so here we have the brand new, this is Pillow Talk. And you've heard me talking about Pillow Talk many times before. If you haven't picked up on it yet, I'm slightly a huge fan of gardenias. And Pillow Talk is, of course, like all the other gardenias, it is an evergreen. Beautiful double white flowers, and I'm a bit of a gardenia snob. So if I'm going to have a gardenia, I want to have a double bloom, because I mean, let's just get the most bang for our buck with our gardenias, right? I do love Pillow Talk because, one, as a grower, it has performed really, really well. We brought these in as quart-sized containers. When was that? Late spring, early summer. And they have filled out so nicely. I mean, just like look at the size of this plant already. We're just talking about a couple of months of growth here, and just great performers. Pillow Talk also is going to be more on the petite side. It's basically going to be for us, about a 3.5 tall by 4 foot wide. So a very manageable size of a gardenia, because some of especially the older gardenias can get huge. We've had people ask, can you grow this in a container? Absolutely you can, and especially for my sweet folks who maybe you're just out of the reach of the winter hardiness, because this is going to be hardy in zones 7 to 10. So even if you're a zone 6 or you're a zone 5, what you can do is put this in a container, and then of course in the wintertime you're going to need to bring it in. Whether it's if you have a small greenhouse or your garage, something that protects it. You can still get some sunlight, but it is protected from those really cold temperatures. This would do great in a pot. I always tell people, when you're putting a shrub in a container, you want to go as big as your space will allow. These are 3-gallon containers, so you're going to want to go with something that is, you know, at least a 5 to 7 bigger. So full sun for your gardenias. That is what they need. Consistent water, right? They're not water hogs, but they are also not super drought tolerant. Look, I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't handle it. When you got those dark green glossy leaves and those beautiful double white flowers, just beautiful. Azaleas, yet another iconic kind of southern shrub here. These are the Perfecto Mundos. This is double pink, and double pink just has a gorgeous nice, soft baby doll pink that is a really full double bloom. And you can see, I mean, they are just really, really attractive. These are going to be cold hardy in zones 6B to 9. And again, petite. So you can see that there is kind of a theme with a lot of these shrubs is to go smaller, because so many people do not have room to have massive shrubs. These are only going to be that 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. Just a great one. Of course, these are the reblooming, so they will bloom 3 times a year: spring, summer, and fall. And azaleas, if you have azaleas and you want to fertilize them, that, especially with these repeat bloomers, that really helps. They are acid-loving plants, so like a Hollytone, slow-release fertilizer of Hollytone, that would do great. So we've got the pink, and then for my sweet people who like maybe a little bit more of a bolder color, this is orange. So the Perfecto Mundo orange, which is not like, if you're us, you know, Clemson fans, this is not Clemson orange. This is more of a kind of a reddish orange. So it is not going to be a double bloom. It is a single bloom. Still is at 3 times a year repeat bloomer. And basically you're going to have the same, you know, this one's going to be 2.5 tall, but 3 to 4 wide. So depending on the variety, you're going to have some variation in your size. Sun to part sun. So that means at a minimum, I would say 5 hours. You've got to have, whew, that sun's coming up. You got to have at least 5 hours of sun for them to bloom. Of course, we brought down more of the hibiscus. These are the summerific hibiscus. These are all evening rose. I'll let you show that flower to them. I mean, this is just, it's beautiful. I mean, you've got that darker foliage. It's not a black foliage like Edge of Night or Holy Grail. It still has that green in it, but with that flower is stunning. Absolutely stunning. In here, we still have, you know, Cece is great. So Cece is, she keeps this retail area just running on tip-top shape. She paired our Perfecto Mundo, the double pink, with the Pugster blue butterfly bushes. And this would be a beautiful pairing in your yard. I mean, this is very practical. You can absolutely pair these two together. That Pugster blue butterfly bush is going to be, for us, definitely in that 3x3 size, and it is going to be full sun, dwarf butterfly bush, but yet has those nice full-size blooms on it. Your pollinators love it, your butterflies, like the butterflies have been fantastic this year. This is me hardy in zones 5 to 9, definitely full sun. Butterfly bushes absolutely drink the sun and love it. Over here, Cece paired the Pillow Talk. No, this is Steady As She Goes. So we have Pillow Talk, and then we have Steady As She Goes. Steady As She Goes is still a beautiful double bloom gardenia, but this one's going to be bigger. So she is actually going to be 3 to 5 tall and 4 to 7 wide. So much bigger than Pillow Talk. Cece has it paired here with the Pugster Pinker because of, you know, the way that Pinker is a little bit bigger than Steady right now. In the landscape, it would actually be, you would want to flip-flop it, right? You want to put the Pugster Pinkers in front of your Steady As She Goes, because size-wise, that makes sense. Here at the nursery, the Pinkers are already a little bit bigger, so that's why we have it like this. Look at this beautiful display of these perennials right here. We've talked about this before. This is Coreopsis, and Coreopsis is a great perennial that loves the sun, and it is one of those few perennials that is a continuous bloomer. So as soon as it starts blooming in you know, late spring, it does not stop until fall. This is the Uptick Gold and Bronze. It is going to be hardy in zones 5 to 9, 12 to 14 inches tall. So this right here, we're getting kind of close to being full size. There is your tag, because I know you people love your tags. Definitely full sun. The more sun this gets, the better it goes. You do not have to deadhead these plants. If you want to, it's not going to hurt, just like your butterfly bushes. If you want to deadhead your butterfly bushes, that's fine. It certainly is not going to hurt anything. but don't feel like you have to. And then even in the wintertime, your coreopsis, while all of this foliage is gonna, die back in the winter, you will still see a nice mat of green, so you will see it there. Same thing with your dianthus. So this is the Paint the Town fuchsia. This would be a beautiful pairing together because dianthus is gonna be a nice, low, spreading perennial, beautiful flowers on it. Pair it with that coreopsis, and then go ahead and put that luminary prismatic pink in the back. So this is a perfect pairing together. Tall, medium, low, right? That's what we want to work for when we're going in the garden. Work from the tallest to the lowest. Annuals, still buy one, get one free. So you can come in, you can grab them. It is, not too late whatsoever to be planting your annuals. This is a great time to take advantage and start making up some fall containers because we've got those upside black coffee. This is the sweet potato vine that climbs. You've got plenty of time to put this in the ground and let it climb. Make those fall containers. We've got beautiful things with fall colors. The plum dandy would be a beautiful accent. You've got some white. You've got, my gosh, look at this. Look at that Bordeaux. That is a beautiful plant with your pentas, coleus galore. My gosh, we've got loads of coleus that will give you great fall color, and your grasses. Grasses do really well all the way through the fall, so we've got those as well. The eucharas or the corbels, we brought these in from, they were getting a little bit too much sun in the bed that they were in. So brought them in here, so that's why they still have some pine needles on them because they were out there in the pines. But look, y'all. So this is wildberry. Look at that color on that. Isn't that beautiful? Just great. So your corbels, your eucharas are going to be what I call semi-evergreens as well. So even in the wintertime, you're still going to have foliage. It's not going to be as big and as glorious, but it will still be there. So here we have one of my absolute favorites. This is Lemon Love. And Lemon Love, along with these other eucharas, they are of the Villosa species. The Villosas are native to the southeast United States. That means they can handle our heat and humidity really well. So anytime you can get a native plant to your region, especially the ones that have that breeding in there, you know that they're going to do really well. I have a Lemon Love that's been in a container, my gosh, for like 4 years now, I think, and is doing fabulous. You'll go down to the shrub lot. We have some things down at the shrub lot. So I know that they brought down some more of like firelight tidbits, great panicle hydrangea, pufferfish, we've got those as well. Other butterfly bushes, we've got the blues, the pinkers, the honeysuckle vine. All of these are going to be wonderful to go ahead and get in the ground now. So what are some plants that you want to get in the ground now? Those hot weather plants. Definitely your gardenias, your butterfly bushes can go in, your hydrangeas can go in right now. You're just gonna have to watch your water, right? Is it raining? Like we have come into this spell of like rain. And so Texas, I wish I could send it to you, but I can't. So just kind of watch your water, but other than that, they will be great. So yes, so this is that Sensation honeysuckle vine that does the beautiful flowers on it. Hummingbirds love it. The flowers will turn into berries. Let's see, what else where are they, Jerry? I don't know, just anything fun. This is real life here, y'all. I'm like, I don't know. Let's just find some stuff. Pufferfish, where? He says, here it is. So, pufferfish. Of course, this is the new hydrangea on the market from Proven Winners, and it has really nice, strong stems on it. Like, look at this one. Beautiful, big, huge heads. These are relatively new because you can tell they have not completely fleshed out yet, but your pufferfish will get nice and big, that cone shaped, and then on the tip will do a little tuft. So that is really fun. And then of course the hibiscus. I mean, my gosh, y'all, look at the hibiscus. I know that Proven Winners was just having the summerific week, and so for us, we're kind of on the downside of the hibiscus blooming. because we were just ahead. But I wanted to share with this one. We have not talked about this with you. Look at that bloom. Look at that. This is Starry Starry Night, and this is from Walter's Gardens. It is not a summerific, so it is not part of the Proven Winners line. However, all of the summerific hibiscus come from Walter's Gardens. And so this is one that, in my opinion, could absolutely be part of the Proven Winners line because the blooms on this are huge. They are gorgeous. And then you have that black foliage against it, really makes a beautiful statement. And Starry Starry Night is going to be about 4 feet tall. It's gonna be like a 4x4. So it's gonna be a nice, beautiful round shape. So I know a lot of you out there have quite a few of the summerifics. If you don't have Starry Starry Night, you're gonna wanna add it because I think I'm gonna add this one up near the chicken coop area because I don't have a hibiscus in that area. And this dark foliage with this beautiful flower, is going to be gorgeous. As far as the flower color difference, with Edge of Night, this has a little bit more white in it than Edge of Night. You can see Edge of Night back here. It has more of that kind of that fluorescent, more pink in it, and then Starry Starry Night has a little bit more white in it. So that kind of gives you an idea of the difference between those two. And Starry Starry Night is going to be a little bit taller and wider. Edge of Night's more of a gumdrop. So there you go. You can see Edge of Night back there in the back in that flower bed. So a lot happening here, folks. So much stuff, but it is definitely, you need to start thinking about the fall because here in the Southeast, in the South, the fall is the perfect time to be adding perennials, shrubs, and trees to your yard. So if you were thinking about doing any kind of landscaping projects, you need to come visit us. Let's talk about your project. Let's, if you want landscaping services, let's get you on the books. Let's get some consultations going. We absolutely would love to help you doing that. So come see us. We'll help you in any way that we possibly can. And if you're not local, go to your local garden center. I know that they would love to help you as well. All right, so we'll keep you updated on production. We'll keep you updated on everything that's happening here at Creekside Nursery. As always, we so appreciate you. Thank you so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.